Welcome back everyone. Today we'll recap a 2022 Thai horror thriller film named Cracked. Before we start, it is a request to please like and comment on the video as it will help us to grow our reach. The movie begins in New York where we see a woman named Ruja who is asking someone to borrow a lot of money for her daughter Rachel's eyes operation. But she does not get help, so she gets very upset. Just then Rachel comes there and asks her if she will go blind, to which Ruja explains to her that she will not let this happen and asks her not to worry. Now she is very upset and is missing her husband when suddenly there is a knock on the door. At the door is a man named 𝐀𝐋𝐖 who says that he is her dad's friend. He says that he wants to tell her something important and that she should come back to Thailand. After this, Ruja lies down near Rachel but then she hears someone coughing. She sees that Rachel is replaced by an old lady who tells her don't go back. Suddenly Ruja wakes up in her car and 𝐀𝐋𝐖 tells her that they have reached Thailand. Ruja's father 𝐵𝐻𝐿, who was a world-renowned painter, had died and Ruja is called back to Thailand to handle his estate. Here she meets Da, the caretaker of the house, when 𝐀𝐋𝐖 comes there and asks her to come to the studio with him. He asks her to leave Rachel with Da because kids are not allowed in the studio. Before leaving, Ruja tells Da to be careful as Rachel has an eye problem. Then 𝐀𝐋𝐖 takes her to the studio where there are many paintings. He shows her 2 paintings out of which she sees some movement in a painting. He tells her that these paintings were made by her father 20 years ago and it was bought by one of his fans for several million. But it was returned to the studio because the owner killed all his family members and then killed himself. He left a note under the painting which said, "I'm returning you to your creator." Painting number 2 was kept by 𝐵𝐻𝐿 in good condition and said that it was not for sale. But now a millionaire is willing to pay a fortune to buy both of them. Ruja asks him when will she get the money, to which 𝐀𝐋𝐖 says that does she not want to know how her father died. He tells her that her dad hung himself here but Ruja was not interested in knowing this and says that she wants to move out of here. Here someone wears a red scarf to Rachel, and when Da sees that scarf with her, she is shocked and asks her where did she get it from. Rachel says that she just gave it to her, on which she takes that scarf from her. Here 𝐀𝐋𝐖 tells Ruja that there are some cracks in the paintings so he wants to get them fixed before selling them. His son is an art restorer. He can take care of it. Ruja tells her that she wants to sell this house too after her dad's funeral. Here Rachel is waiting for Ruja when she hears cracks and the room door shuts on its own. Rachel comes out of the room where she sees a cloth on the door of the other room. She was about to grab that cloth but Ruja comes there and that cloth goes inside, and Ruja takes her from there. Then after some time, 𝐀𝐋𝐖 leaves the house, and that night we see Da going to the forest, who goes to an old house and ties that scarf. She requests not to hold it against her. Then a very strong wind starts blowing there and she sees a hand on the window of the house. She starts running away in fear but trips and sees that one end of the scarf is tied to her leg. Here Ruja wakes up with a sound and he sees that Rachel is not in bed. She comes out looking for her where she sees Rachel walking downstairs but then Rachel calls her from inside the room, which leaves her a bit surprised. Then suddenly a hand grabs Rachel's leg and the door of the room starts closing. Ruja's hand gets stuck in it, which breaks her finger, but it was just a nightmare. Then she sees that Rachel is not on the bed, which makes her very worried and she starts searching for her all over the house. Ruja comes out of the house looking for her, in which Da is also helping her, and they start looking for her in the forest. Ruja comes to the studio looking for her and she comes across an entity that attacks her. It puts a cloth on her, after which she starts hearing the sound of cracks. Suddenly 2 hands grab her face and she runs out of fear. On the other hand, we see Rachel in the woods where a snake is about to bite her but someone pulls her back. Then we see a man bringing her with him. He tells Ruja that he is Tim and he has here come to fix the paintings. Here Rachel tells her that she was not alone but she went with a woman with a red scarf. But Ruja feels that she is lying and asks her not to do it again. Tim then comes to the studio to look at the paintings where he finds a box. In it, he finds some pictures of a girl and only then does he hear the sound of cracks. He sees that the eyes of both the paintings have cracked. Here in the house, Ruja tells Rachel that she will not leave the house without asking her. Rachel tells her that she likes Tim and wants him to draw her picture. Then Tim comes there and tells Ruja that she should come to see something in the studio. Ruja tells him that he does not need her permission for any work, to which he says that it is not about the restoration. He brings her to the studio and shows cracks on the painting. He takes out a piece from painting number 1, underneath which another painting is found. Ruja stops him to do this, to which Tim tells her that it could be a big discovery that may raise the value of her father's paintings. Ruja says that she doesn't care, to which Tim asks her if she thinks these paintings are haunted. Then he asks her to walk while looking into the eyes of that painting. Ruja sees that the eyes are following her and suddenly the eyes move, which scares her, and she leaves asking him to fix the painting. Now when she comes home, a photo from above falls in front of her and a flashback of her childhood is also shown here. She goes upstairs and sees Rachel with a dress from her childhood. Seeing this, she gets angry at Daw and asks her to burn the clothes. She brings Rachel to her room and goes to the washroom where we are shown a flashback of her childhood. She is outside that old house and has a drawing in her hand. Then the blood of a dead snake drips on that drawing and she sees that snake in the wash basin, which frightens her a lot. Then she hears Rachel scream, and when she comes out, Rachel tells her that there is someone under the bed. She sees that Rachel is very scared, and when she checks under the bed, she sees a leg there. Suddenly all the windows get shut and the bulbs also burst. Then she sees a ghost lady sitting on the bed holding Rachel. She takes out her eyes, after which a snake enters her eye sockets. Then the red scarf wraps around her neck and pulls her back, and she sees that the ghost is taking Rachel under the bed. Then after some time, that scarf opens and she picks up Rachel and starts running out of there. She finds Tim and she tells him that she just wants to get out of here and he has to help her. Tim calms her down and gives Rachel an anklet, saying it has magical powers. Then he ties it to her leg and tells her that its jingling sound can chase away demons. Next, we see Ruja waking up from a nightmare, and then she comes to the studio with Rachel. There she finds Tim, who asks her to come inside and see, but she says that she does not want to come inside. He tells her to take a look first and then they can leave. Now she comes inside with Rachel and asks her not to look at the paintings. Then she sees that Tim had ripped the painting and underneath it was the face of a man. This face was of the man who had committed suicide. He says that if they peel off the whole thing, they might know why that man committed suicide. But Ruja says that it's none of her business and asks him to get her and her daughter out of there. Now Tim is taking them in his car, but on the way, their car stops. Rachel looks out the window where she sees someone walking in the woods far away. Suddenly the ghost attacks the window and Rachel disappears from the car. Now both of them search for her and come inside the forest where they hear the jingling sound of her anklet. Ruja runs in the direction of sound where she hears some sound and sees someone hanging on a tree wrapped with a scarf. Suddenly the scarf comes toward her and disappears, but she sees that it is tied to her leg and then starts dragging her away. It leaves her near the old house from which she hears Rachel's voice. She sees a painting in that house, but then she hears Rachel's voice from outside and goes back to the forest to find her. On the other hand, Tim is also looking for Rachel, following jingling sound. Ruja sees that Daw is about to throw Rachel in a pit, but she stops her. Daw says she doesn't have any choice. If she doesn't do it, she won't leave her in peace. Ruja says that Rachel has nothing to do with all this, to which Daw tells her to jump instead and she will let her go. Now a flashback is shown here where the ghost asks to kill them all in exchange for her life. Now Daw is about to throw Rachel. Tim hits her from behind, causing her to fall into the pit, and he saves Rachel. They then go to the studio where Ruja angrily tries to destroy the painting, but Tim stops her. She says that all this is happening because of this painting, and only then do the lights start flickering. Then Rachel says that she thinks she can save her by destroying the paintings. Both of them are shocked to see her, and Rachel turns toward them and says in a demonic voice that she is not her daughter. Because of her and her family she become like this. Rachel was now possessed, and then both the paintings start cracking. Suddenly the paintings are uncovered and Rachel screams and attacks Ruja. Tim tries to save her, but Rachel throws him away, after which Ruja hits her and knocks her unconscious. After this, they look at the paintings, and only then do the lights start flickering and the girl comes out of the painting and haunts them. Both of them were very scared seeing this, and then Ghost again scares Ruja, and only then does Witch-Eye comes there. He asks her what is happening here, and suddenly Tim attacks him. Now a flashback is shown where younger Ruja sees the girl in the painting with her dad. She tells him that she will do anything to make him love her again. She says that she can make him happy like before. After which he takes off her scarf and strangles her with it. Back to the present, Ruja is tied with ropes and Tim shows her the photos of her mother and then throws them over Witch-Eye. He takes out a gun and asks Witch-Eye about those paintings. They are photos of a party, and here Witch-Eye reveals that after the party that night, Pakran picked only 2 close friends to stay for the real highlight. His favorite model Prang was a surprise he had prepared for them. He wanted the 2 guests to take part in his artistic creation. He made a painting of Prang with those 2 friends and Witch-Eye. The one who bought that painting was the first to die along with his entire family. Then he shows him the dead body of Tim, whom he had already killed, and then he reveals that Prang was his mother, after which he kills him by stabbing a knife in his neck. Now again a flashback is shown where Prang's son is with her. He is applying medicine to her wounds. After this, we see that Prang's son is making a sketch of Ruja, which she goes to show it to her mother, but seeing this her mother gets angry. Then we see Da accompanied by a black shaman who chants something on a dead snake and throws it at Prang's house, which Prang and her son watch from inside. Next day Ruja sees that dead snake and starts running away in fear of it. On the way, her mother stops her and tells her that Prang and her son are bad people. They worship ghosts and wants to hurt them. Then Prang's son calls Ruja from behind, but Ruja's mother says that if they pretend not to see them, they cannot hurt them. In the present, Prang's son asks Ruja if she really didn't see anything. Then it is shown in a flashback that Pakran ties Prang with a rope and hangs her, after which he starts making a painting of her. Ruja and Prang's son was watching all this, and he comes inside the studio to save her. He tries to save her and asks for help by calling Pakran dad, and it is revealed that he was the son of Pakran and Prang. Then he says that he doesn't know why his dad didn't save his mother that night, but there's someone who could. Now Ruja was also standing there, and Prang's son was asking her for help, but she had closed her eyes and pretended that she could not see them. Then later her mother came there and took her away from there. Then he goes to her and tells her that after that witch I and Da together threw them both in the same pit. He says that he has been waiting to paint her beautiful face, but she is in pretty bad shape right now. Then he opens the cupboard which has Rachel inside. He takes her out and makes her sit on a chair. Then he takes out a noose and says that she does not know how it feels to see their loved one being tortured and killed, and that you cannot do anything about it. Then he goes to take something out of his bag, but a snake bites his hand. And here in a flashback it is shown that the Da had put it in his bag. Now he starts shooting that snake in anger, and during this time Ruja frees herself with the help of a cutter lying nearby. He then tries to strangle her, but she frees herself by stabbing the cutter in his thigh. She then kills the snake, and when Prang's son tries to kill Rachel, she attacks him with a painting and throws some chemicals into his eyes. Then she throws Prang's paintings at him and hits a bottle of alcohol on his head, which makes him unconscious. She then sets him and the paintings on fire. Due to this, the whole studio starts burning and she comes out with Rachel. Then she takes her away from there, and we see the painting burning, which suddenly extinguishes and Prang's eye moves. Now a scene from a month ago is shown where Pakran gets drunk in his studio, and then the scarf wraps around his neck and hangs him to death, and the movie ends with Prang turning into a ghost. Please like and subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon never to miss new video updates. Thanks for watching.